All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on What the Sheet. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing a tool review of my new car. So, if you watched some of my previous videos, you've seen I used to have a 2012 Ram pickup, and I sold that, and I got this, which is a 2021 Kia Sorento EX all-wheel drive X-line. So that's all the fancy title for it. Basically, what this is, it's a 3-row, 6-passenger SUV. It has a tow package on it, so it can tow 3,500 pounds, and it's all-wheel drive, like I said. It has the 4-cylinder turbo engine in it, and there's a few reasons why I got this car. The main reason was I have a kid on the way, and having an SUV, it's gonna be a lot easier to haul baby and baby stuff around versus my truck. The second reason is this gets way better fuel mileage than my truck did. And the third reason was I wasn't really using my truck for truck stuff. I mean, yes, I was using it to haul lumber for, all my little projects and everything like that. But for the most part, I wasn't towing any trailers with it. I wasn't hauling anything heavy in the bed of the truck. And the truck bed itself was only 5.5 feet. So the majority of the time I was having stuff hanging out of the truck bed anyway. So, wasn't really losing anything there. So with this, 90% of the time, it's just, me zipping to and from work. So it's going to be a lot more efficient that way. And then, like I said, with the baby on the way, when me and my wife have to go somewhere with the kid, it'll be a lot easier to throw the baby in here, just being it's lower to the ground. And I get the nice trunk space in there to put all baby stuff. So I'll do a quick 360 around the car, the outside of the car, kind of show you everything. I'll show you the lights and all that stuff. This does have LED lights on the front and the rear. And then I'll show you the interior and how I'm adjusting to using an SUV to haul stuff from the store versus a pickup truck. Okay, so we're just going to start from the driver's side here. Fuel door, kind of simple. There's the X-line badging. So with the Kias in North America, or in the US, X-line is a trim package, and that means it raises the overall suspension of the car about an inch, inch and a half, something like that. And then I'm trying to remember if there's any other major features that come along with it. I don't think there really was. I think it's just a body lift, and there might, like I said, there might be some other stuff. So we're gonna go around to the front here, and you can see the LED headlights. So this is the running lights, and then this is your driving lights. So if you turn the headlights off, this will still be on, and that's LED. And then on the bottom here, these are your fog lights. So let me turn the 4-ways on. Let's tap the button here. So now with the 4-ways on, that is your indicator up front, and then you have an indicator on the mirror. And then I do believe if you go up to the max trim or the SX version, this becomes your indicator light instead of that guy right there. And then it's the same thing on the passenger side, indicator on the mirror, and then on the front here. And then if we go to the back, so your indicator light is on the inside here on the vertical strip on both sides, and then you have your light underneath for your license plate. And then one kind of different feature my wife was struggling with when we first got the car was trying to find the trunk release. So in most SUVs, you would think it'd be right here underneath the badge for Kia, but in this case, it's actually under the E, and there's just a button. And it is powered liftgate, which is super convenient. And that's all the way open. So I'm 6 foot, and I can easily stand underneath the liftgate, and it's clear over my head. I don't have to worry about hitting my head on anything like that. And it has 2 buttons up here. So this button will just close the liftgate if you want to keep the car unlocked, and the second button will close the liftgate and lock all the car doors. So let's say you're parked outside somewhere on the street and you want to get your groceries out or get whatever you have out of the back here, and then you just want to run inside, you can just hit this button. It'll lock the doors and close the liftgate, and then you're done. You don't have to run around and hit the button on the door or use your key fob to unlock it. So we'll leave this open, and then we'll go around and I'll show you the front seat. Okay, so now we're in the front seat of the car. I have the door closed. The hatch is still open. So here's your main display. This is your center dash. So this is actually colored. So if I can cycle through, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see the colors. But it is colored. So on the center here, this says smart. And what that means is on your drive modes, you have 4 drive modes. You have smart, sport, comfort, and then eco. And then you have snow mode over here. And I've had this car for a little over a week, and I've just left it in smart mode. Smart mode just automatically adjusts your throttle and braking and steering and all that stuff for you. So depending on how aggressive or, you know, old lady like you like to drive, it changes the car for you. And then over here you have your big 10.5 inch or 10.25 inch display. Let's go like this. So here's your kind of your home screen, and I like this, especially because my truck didn't have any display. It was very old. But one thing I don't like about this is the purple. You can't change any of the colors on the screen. It's just this purplish blue color. But there are some pretty neat features in here. So one feature I do like is this quiet mode. So what it does is, say for example, in my case, in the future when the baby comes, if we have to take the baby, take the baby home from the hospital or go to a doctor's appointment like that and the kid's sleeping, I can hit quiet mode. And what this does is it shuts off the speakers in the back seats and only plays music or audio or whatever through the front speakers here, and it turns everything down to number 7, the number 7 volume level, and then you can adjust it up or down from there. But it'll only play your music or your phone call or whatever through the front speakers. So that's very convenient, and one nice thing that I really wanted for when the little one came. And then from there, another neat little feature is on the bottom side of the mirror here, there's actually buttons that you can program to your garage door openers, which I have done for this car. So I don't have to have a clicker right here like I've had in the past, like in my truck. So it's nice to kind of keep the clutter out of here, just because this car is not it's not nearly as big as my truck used to be, but it's still very spacious for somebody like me who's 6 feet tall. And like the headspace, so if I kind of switch you guys around, you can kind of see I've got the panoramic sunroof, but the headspace, I've got more than enough. I can put my fist above my head, and I'm more than comfortable getting in and out of this thing, and I have plenty of headspace. I don't feel super claustrophobic in here. The mirror is also auto dimming, so like in older vehicles you had a little flip tab there. This doesn't have it because it's automatically dimming. And then moving on to the sunroof, it's a panoramic, so it starts kind of in the middle of the front passenger compartment and then goes all the way back to the end of the back of the second row. So it's very nice open. There's just a small little bar in the middle here that splits the 2 pieces of glass up, and the roof, the first panel opens up pretty far. It's about 2/3, I think, it comes to right about here. Pretty good. Yeah, so it opens up about 2/3, so it's plenty of space, and then you get the little buffer up here that helps with the noise. And then that cover comes all the way across. And now you have something, and this is just a fabric cover, but this will help, if you're driving on a long road trip and you want to kind of deaden some of that noise, because with the glass, it reverberates a lot of interior sound. But plenty of room in the front, nice and spacious, nice comfortable leather seats and leather interior. It's got the fake wood trim here on the doors. What else? I got a wireless charging pad up here, USB for Apple CarPlay, because this doesn't have wireless Apple CarPlay yet. Supposedly it's supposed to be coming soon-ish. What else? Oh, there's a neat little feature down here in the footwell, a little red light. When you're driving at night, it actually glows up the footwell pretty well, and it's convenient where if you're driving and let's say you have something fall down by your feet, you don't have to turn on these lights up here. You can just you can find it very easily whether you're driving or in the passenger seat. It's nice to have that accent lighting right there. But right now, I'm going to jump in the back seat in the second row. I'll sit behind myself because, like I said, I'm 6 foot. And I'll kind of show you guys how much room there is just in that second row seating. And then I'll move to the third row, and then I'll show you how much cargo space you have when you get the third row seat folded down and when the second row seat's folded down. All right, so I'm going to jump in the second row. So I have this seat all the way back. And like I said, the driver's seat is set up for me when I'm driving and I'm 6 foot. And I'm pretty sure I have the front seat pretty much all the way back. And then, so I'll show you kind of how much room I have back here. And then, like I said, I'll crawl into that third row and show you how much room I have even in a third row with this seat all the way back. And then, obviously you can make some adjustments if you want to be more comfortable. So as you can see, super comfortable. I can recline the seat pretty far back if I'm on a long road trip and I'm not driving. I got a nice little armrest here, and I'm comfortable. I can take a nap back here. Put the seat in a nice comfortable position. You can adjust this armrest. It just kind of has a ratcheting mechanism, and it'll go up pretty far. And then if you want to reset it, you just lift it all the way up and put it back down. But very comfortable. You got 2 cubbies on either side. One with netting, one just regular cubby. Hard plastic back if you need to clean your car because you got a little kid making a mess back here, as they do. You got a cup holder in the door because you don't have a center console or a flip down center because this is the captain's chairs. And then you have built-in USB on both of the driver's seats on the back side here. And then you also have a USB and a 12-volt plug in the center here on the floor. What else? There is also some cubbies built in on the side of the seats here on the inside pocket. And then it's just manual adjust forward and back. That's about it in the back seat here. There's really not a whole lot. You do also have an extra storage spot for an extra water bottle or something like that in the door here if you need to. So I'm going to grab the camera and I'll jump into the third row. And like I said, I'll leave this seat as it is because this is where I'm sitting and this is where I'm comfortable. So I'll jump behind myself for the second time, and I'll show you how much room I have back there. All right, so this is me crawling through the car here. It's not really the easiest thing to crawl into. So hopefully you can kind of see. So with this seat all the way back, I'm not comfortable, but I can press, there's a button here on the top. If I press this, that'll push that seat forward. So let's say you're hanging out with your friends and you're in the back seat and all of a sudden somebody's like, oh, hey, you get to your destination and the person in front of you doesn't hit that button to let you out. There's a button back there. It electronically releases the seat, slides it forward, and then you can easily get out. And then from there, so that's with the seat, not all the way back, but back pretty far. And obviously this can come back a little bit further. I think I can adjust it by holding this button. Okay, so I've adjusted the seat to something a little bit more comfortable for me. Like I said, I'm 6 foot. So my knees are touching the back of the seat, but if I needed to for a short trip, for going out with friends or whatever, I got, enough space back here where I'm comfortable. This is only a 2-seater back here, so it's just me and somebody else. You do get a little storage spot right here and a cubby hole, and then there's also a USB plug on both sides, and it's the same on this side over here. You got the storage spot, cubby hole, and USB, and then you have controls for either seat. So I can press this and that'll release that seat, and then if I press this other button, it'll release this right seat right here. And then there's another 12-volt plug back here. So you got plenty of controls and space back here. If you're going to be sitting back here for a decent amount of time, I wouldn't say it's going to be comfortable for long car rides for more than an hour or so, but you can definitely get by if need be to sit back here and relax. So now I'll flip the one seat up, we'll crawl out, and then I will flip the third row seat down and show you the kind of how I usually drive with the car, and then I'll flip the second row seats down and you can see how much cargo space we have in total in the car. Okay, so now we're in the back of the car, so the lift gate's up, all 3 rows are up, so as you can see there's not really a whole lot of space back here. There's enough space for a medium-sized piece of luggage, or you know, a couple backpacks, some groceries. Actually, the first day we had this car, my wife went and got groceries for the weekend. She had more than enough room to fit everything back there. I do have a cargo net back there. You probably can't quite see it. The little white tab right there in the middle of the screen, that's actually a cargo net. And you can actually put stuff either inside the cargo net or brace stuff against the back of those seats to just keep stuff from sliding around. So I'll show you how to flip the rear seats down and then how much space is in there, and then flip the second row seats down where I'll actually throw some wood in there and show you how much space you actually have in the side of this car. So to flip the third row seats down, I'm going to take the cargo net down, and then there's some tabs here. Hopefully you guys can see these, but if not, there's basically a small seatbelt strap on either side. You just pull it, the headrest will flip down, and then you just drop the seat, and it's the same for the other side. And then what I've already done is the seat belts for the third row, I have them tucked down the side here. There's a little clip that holds the seat belts for you. And then you can see a little bit more of the controls and stuff back here for that second row. So with my light here, you can kind of see. So here's the cargo net. I just pulled that down to make it easier to flip the seats down. And then here's those seatbelt straps that I was telling you about. And there's a little piece of Velcro on the back side of the seat there that'll hold those in place so they're not flopping around. And from earlier, you can kind of see the cup holder, the little storage tray. There's a little USB plug, and then the same thing on the other side. And then these are the controls to drop the seats. So like I said, you just press and hold these buttons, and then I'll drop the other seat. And I'll move this seat so it's all the way back so it folds down fully, and then I'll show you what it looks like fully open and with some material in here. All right, so here's what the car looks like. So these boards right here that you see in the middle, these are 1 by 2 by 8 foot long. So they do fit inside the car, obviously not fully in the back seat. So they do, I have them set up there on the armrest in the middle. So when I was driving home, I just rested my arm on the boards themselves. But you could get, 8 foot long boards in here. You could, in theory, put a 10 foot long board in here, but it's probably going to go up onto the dash. So I wouldn't recommend that. My plan in the future is to get a small trailer, probably an 8 foot trailer. Depending on cost, I might even upgrade to a 10 foot trailer. Just because this car does have the ability, like I said earlier, to tow 3,500 pounds. And I've got it all wired and everything hooked up already. So it's just depending on cost and some other features that I might look into for a trailer. But anyways, so you can put 8 foot boards in here, 2x4s, whatever. From here, these are 6 foot boards. So these from the, this plastic trim here where the lift gate comes down, that's where these are stuck at. And this is on the edge where, if you notice in the middle here, it kind of swoops in like this. So you get a little bit more space here, but you could easily fit a 6 foot board there. And then this is just a sheet of plywood. I don't think you can fit a full sheet of plywood widthwise in here. So that's one kind of issue. And that's where me getting a trailer is going to come in handy, was when I'm getting sheet goods. But for normal, stick boards like this that I've been buying lately, this works out just fine. Obviously with my truck, I didn't have to worry about folding seats down or any of that jazz. But as you can see, you can easily, modify your workflow a little bit and survive just fine with a mid-size SUV like this. So that's all I got for this. If you guys have any questions on this car, in particular, like I said, this is a 2021 Kia Sorento. You don't have to get the X-line with all the, fancy bells and whistles like I have. And you can go in the base trim or the lower trim models, and you get almost like the exact same features. You just lose, like example, the USB plugins in the back and the leather and all that stuff. And that second row becomes a 3-row seater. But other than that, same features. Seats all fold down the same as they do here. Everything else is almost identical. Just like I said, a few little whiz bangs that aren't in the lower trims that are in this trim. But that's all I got for you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.